What's up guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another unboxing showcase review, and we do have on the spinning stand here the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Thane. General Thane. Finally got this guy in. I actually had this through the Kickstarter, so I am a little bit late doing the review, but I am excited to have this figure because he is a big one. This is a big character compared to the other characters that we've been receiving from like wave 1, and this is part of wave 2. So very happy to have it. Taking a look at the box, we definitely have some reading material on the back, which is pretty cool. Some artwork right here as well, and of course the front of the box where we can see everything that it comes with. Love this presentation. It's really nice to see that. So as you guys know, we will open it from the bottom because I definitely love opening my fingers and showing you guys what it entails throughout the packaging. But here we go, just like so. Oh, and there are some extra hands in a bag. So as you can see, everything's here. Let me unbox this for you so you can take a look. All right guys, there we have it. We have Thane, General Thane, out of the box. Absolutely incredible for the sheer size of this thing. It's so cool. Really cool. First things first, let's go over the accessories because it is very minimal, but we have variety because we have hands. We actually have this big guy that comes with 3 sets of hands, which is actually really cool. But first things first, weapon, we actually have this large hammer. And take a look at the sculpting details on this thing. This is great. Love the indentions that you see here in regards to like this like iron / stone type of hammer. The head of this is incredible. Very nicely well sculpted, even throughout here with the back end of the hammer. We have some wraps that are sculpted throughout right here, and of course with the staff, you can see it's kind of like a wood staff there, and some more like steel parts going on. So very nicely sculpted, very nicely painted as well. So that's really cool to see that. And like I said, with multiple hands, he has a pair of relaxed hands, I guess you can say, but you can also probably use these as gripping hands in a way. These have that form for it. I mean, it's still nice. There is some flexibility in the fingers a little bit, but you can see the sculpt and everything. Look at that. Very nice. Paint also very well done. And the second set of hands, we have fists, which is awesome. Fists are awesome to have for this type of figure as well. So again, the sculpt and the paint, very well done. And the other pair of hands are these actual C gripping type of hands. So they actually were on the figure itself. Very nice. You can see that there. So 3 sets of hands, awesome to have. And the other accessory is an alternate head sculpt with it being helmeted. So that's actually pretty cool that we got another head sculpt where he's actually having his helmet. And the helmet, because in a lot of cases, especially with animals within this line, sometimes I guess you can put a separate helmet. I forget, I'm trying to remember. But this is great to have an alternate head sculpt, and it's a more, you know, mad grinning type head sculpt, which is really cool, showing the teeth right there. Very cool, very nicely sculpted as well. These kind of flap open, which is nice. It's nice to see that you can have a little bit of some flexibility there within the helmet. And then because of the other head sculpt, I mean, you can see here with the other head sculpt, having that hair and the ears, you're going to have much larger helmet that's going to possibly just be like way too big and bulky, while this is a nice alternative. So this is really cool to have. All right, and then we have General Thane himself. Checking out this figure, sculpt and paint on this is very nice. Very nice. I mean, even with the sculpt, all the individual hair, you know, all of that, all in there, painted. It's all nicely painted. There is really no wash to it. It's just a solid one color, which is still works. It's pretty good. I don't think you really needed to have any type of wash within because it's just the one color. We do have the gray on his chest, in which he does have a scar right here across his chest, which is also a lighter gray, which is pretty good. Face sculpt as well. 2 colors, blue eyes, the white in the eyes all being shown. Very, very nice in the sculpt, especially with the hair. The hair details is incredible. And then he's got his armor here. This is crazy, which I'm pretty sure we could take all this off. I'm almost sure. We'll see. With this, you can see it's very loose on here, so I'm sure I could just pop the head off and just take this shoulder piece armor off. It's very asymmetrical, of course, because it's just covering the one side. And he's got this blue forearm guard held on with 2 belt straps right here, which I'm sure this can come off. And then on this side, again, he's got matching red armor here on this forearm guard, which is loose, which I think that can come off. But the thing about this is that this, where the bicep is, this is sculpted in. So this won't come off, which is a little weird for, I guess, that decision, considering the fact that you could more than likely take this armor off and have like a full-on, you know, gorilla right here. The belt, you can see here, is also loose. We could take this belt off. There is a port right here that will come off as well. So yeah, you could take this belt off, which is pretty cool. And then the legs, you could take this off too. That's nice. See, I love how we can have these options for this series. This series where we can just mix and match the armor pieces on the characters is really cool. And this continues that with the larger characters here. But this was a little weird to not have this come off. It is sculpted into the bicep. So unless I am looking at it wrong, that is what I see, and I don't think it will come off. But yeah, all the armor pieces can come off, which is really cool. But again, going back to the sculpt, look at the wear and tear on this armor. It looks really, really nice. We have the brown belt here, bandolier type belt, with the gold being painted here for the belt right there. So it still looks really good. Even this red matches everything. The blue, this blue is a little bit more duller than this shinier one. It's got more of a metallic, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. It's not going to bother me. Legs, his legs are really short. I mean, you can see that the legs don't really it's like he's just smaller that way, I guess. He's definitely much smaller with his larger size mass of the torso area, and including his arms. His arms are enormous. But yeah, this is a nicely sculpted figure. I love how this looks. So when it comes to articulation, starting off with the head, of course he can turn his head like so. There is some tilt that you can get out of it. I think it's really just on a hinge. Yep, it is on a hinge, ball and hinge. But he can, because we can hinge it, we can have him look all the way up. That's really good when it comes to looking all the way up. And then we can have that hinge go down that far. But I think because of the sculpt of his face, it's not going to look down in a way. So, I mean, that's looking straight, and then that's looking down. So there you go with that. Shoulder can go at the 90 like so. This one might be hindered a bit if you move the head because of this shoulder armor, but no, you can get 90. That's great. You can get 90. The head shifted a little bit because the armor will get in the way, but that's okay. We have an upper bicep like so. Doesn't swivel all the way around because of the musculature here. It's going to stop you from turning it, but you can turn it to a degree that you want to. There is a turn at the elbow. It is a single jointed elbow. The straps can get in the way, but it is at a 90 degree, so that's still pretty good. We do have a turn at the wrist, and they are horizontal. I believe it's horizontal. I'm looking because the arm guard got in the way. I'm trying to check it. I can't tell. You know what? it's probably like a horizontal because the other ones are horizontal as well. But I shifted this. Yeah, I shifted the arm bracer a bit. So I'm going to have to maneuver that just a little bit just to fix it up a bit. So that goes the same on this side. Can it go 90 on here? Yes, it can go 90 on here. He has an ab crunch. No diaphragm, but just a regular ab crunch. So if he's going to go back, he goes back just that far forward. And you can hear that click. It's going to go forward that much, and he's got a waist swivel right here. Does he have an upper thigh cut? He does. I can see it right there. So he can turn that upper thigh cut, and he's got a turn at the knee because the knee is also a single joint, which can practically go at the 90. So that's not too bad. Now his feet does or doesn't. He does have a pivot at his foot. He can go back only so far, and he can go forward. He can go forward quite a bit considering he's got the armor here around his ankles. So you can maneuver that as you see fit, but that's pretty good in regards to his articulation for this size of a figure. So that I'm still pleased with. This is still a great size figure to play around with the series of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So there he is with the alternate head sculpt on, and it actually looks really good. It works so well. I mean, it's crazy because it's a blue helmet, so it only matches with like the knee covers here as well as this arm bracer here. But this works out nicely. Still can do turning like so, and of course he can look up pretty well. But yeah, that actually works out very nicely. All right, when it comes to his one weapon accessory, it's going to be a little bit tough because the thickness of these fingers, as much as I can move them around, it's still very little, and you might have to heat them up in order to place them, maybe both hands on here. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try using both hands for this hammer instead of one, just to see if he has that capability. All right, so it can be done. I did have to heat up this hand because I had to really flex out the fingers in order for this to fit. And luckily this uses more of like a more flexible, pliable plastic, because I could easily snap it if I were to have him hold it like this. He's definitely better with just one hand. You see what I mean? You can bend it, so thank God I could bend it like that. But once I peel it out, he's absolutely better holding this with one hand. It looks better. It absolutely looks better. So there you have that. You can definitely do this. I'm still happy with it. It's still really good. Okay, so in terms of height, he well, with the helmet, of course, the helmeted head sculpt, he is about 8 and a quarter inches tall. So that's a pretty good size for this type of character. But with comparison, let's just compare, because the one character I have with me is Lexion, and Lexion is your typical size of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So he is right below. Actually, it works out very nicely. You can see the mass on General Thane versus Lexion, which is your typical character. But it's a great looking, you know, having that differences in size of the characters. It looks incredible. And I've got Marvel Legends Venom out here, of course, the newer Venom. It's almost to the same height, almost. It's just probably just at around 7 inches. So that's actually pretty good when it comes to, you know, mixing the worlds together. Marvel Legends can work very nicely with this line. So if I even bring in our new Vulcan body, that's a pretty good size for a gorilla. So that's pretty cool. And how about a Mythic Legions female Legion builder? Really nice. Oh, look at you falling down. That's still a pretty good size, because Mythic Legions can be just slightly over 6 inches, even with the female figures. So that's a pretty good size right there. And I do have a Diamond Select figure. This is the Marvel Select Red Hulk. Definitely larger. Marvel Select is a much more larger scale, so that is still good, because even with my Diamond Select collection, I like the larger size figures, but even with Thane, still a really good size for that type of character. Alright guys, there you have it. There is my unboxing showcase review on the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom General Thane. Really, really cool figure. It's sculpted incredibly, and I love the look of this guy. It works so well with this whole series of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and I'm glad that they have a much larger scale figure to go with the regular size figures. It's really, really nice to see. But let me know what you guys think. I would greatly appreciate it. So make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for subscribing. All the newcomers, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But I hope to see you soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.